Jay Kanzler is attorney, filmmaker, local attorney, reform politician. When is Marshall the Miracle Dog coming?
Marshall the Miracle Dog is screening at the St. Louis International Film Festival November 16th at 2:45 p.m. at the Tivoli Theater, but don't even try to get tickets because it is sold out.
Is that the red carpet? I'm going to show up on the red carpet. It's not a red carpet.
Does he get to go? I mean, is he going to be there?
No, with tickets, I said, McGraw, tickets are
Wait a
sold
minute,
out.
There's not even, I can't even be the hot dog guy or anything? I can't be the soda guy?
No, it is screening. Tickets are sold out, but
and then
we're excited.
When is it gonna be open for public consumption?
We are in the process right now of negotiating those deals.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be eventually like on iTunes? Will we be able to download
It will
it?
be in the movie theater.
Movie
Well, that
theaters
too,
or
but-
television,
right,
but
then after-
iTunes and
good,
videos. Yeah,
good.
it'll all be out there.
Yeah, all right, good.
Congrats.
And what was the highest tested section of the movie?
People loved McGraw-Millhaven as
Lord.
Mayor McGraw.
Mayor McGraw. Thank you very
Wow,
much.
that's awesome.
All right, let's get to
Academy Award worthy.
I was.
Why? Why do you increase this? Why? Why?
All right, so it came out that Officer Darren Wilson is not showing up for court cases in other cases because he's in hiding, he's getting death threats, he's not involved with these, and so they want to dismiss. There's rumors that they are going to dismiss now or this morning. They're not going to dismiss. These are the cases that he's involved in. Two prominent lawyers here. Explain to me what's going on. Doesn't he have to testify if he's subpoenaed and if he's the police officer who brought these charges or who arrested the guy? Doesn't he have to then keep up with his responsibilities as a police officer?
Okay, so if you're a lawyer, and your star witness is embroiled in something that's, international.
Right.
I mean, the reality
so they don't
of the
want
challenge.
him. They don't want him testifying.
No,
Do you
no
wanna be the
defense lawyer is
Right.
going to send out a subpoena to bring in the officer who made the arrest, who found the drugs in the car. You hope that he doesn't show up so that there's no evidence.
Right, exactly, and the case gets dismissed anyway. So the defense attorney
Okay,
is not.
so the
going
defense
to.
attorney. What about the prosecuting attorney?
Do you want to bring in Darren Wilson?
So
to
in other
try
words,
to,
he's tainted. He's a tainted witness.
I mean,
more
I think
or
it's.
less.
I think it's a challenge, and I think that I think the defendants are entitled to a trial,
Right.
a speedy trial, and if they can't get that done because of the cloud of this, I think the only fair thing to do is to dismiss these cases.
I
If you're
am
not
just
going to
so-
fully, I understand,
I'm
but it's
so
a reality.
naive to any of this. I would
No,
be.
it's a
if
reality.
I'm in the juror, I'd say, okay, well, what? I mean,
But will the jury really decide this based on the evidence? Are they going to decide that, do you want to be the juror on that case? Public, you walk into court, everybody knows who you are. Do you want to be the juror on that case that decides whether you believe Darren Wilson or not?
if we can't find a jury who can trust or not trust Darren Wilson on a minor drug possession charge, how are we going to find 12 people who's going to actually determine his guilt or innocence?
Well, I mean, the same way they did it in the OJ trial. I mean, it got done. I mean, it gets done. It's not pretty. It's not perfect. It will get done. But I think the idea that we're going to, bring him in, and he, as a potential defendant in a case, is not going to come in and testify and go under oath so that a defense attorney can go on sort of a roving, let's try the Michael Brown case in this case so that, my guy gets off.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of risk there for everything and everybody.
I think also, and then this is my opinion. Again, you said connected lawyers. I think you overstated. But when I read that,
Why are you telling him that?
I see this as more of a, and I don't know, I didn't read the article close enough to see how serious the drug offense was.
They don't seem to be major offenses,
Right.
but they're.
But here's the thing: are you going to bring Michael Wilson into the county courthouse? Okay, here's a man who hasn't been publicly seen for fear of his life and
Right.
for fear of the things that might happen if he does make it. Are you going to parade him into a public place
At a scheduled time.
At a scheduled time to pursue a minor, drug violation? You think of the ramifications of that, the protests, the things that might happen. Frankly, in the big picture, I think you should, to the extent possible, postpone those, dismiss those. There's a bigger kind of safety factor to be considered.
I get that, and again, naive, don't understand the system, sort of want to play fair, but there's no fair anymore. Let's say it was a bigger case. Let's say it was a situation.
He'd have to evaluate that. I mean, that's what the prosecutor does, and unfortunately, he isn't just balancing whether the person he's prosecuting is guilty, which is his fundamental ethical obligation. Now he has to worry about public safety on a citywide, region-wide, possible national or international level every time this name comes up.
This low-level drug deal isn't as vital as creating all-out
Well, I mean,
crisis.
there's going to have to be some judgment calls made as to whether this is for the greater good, and whether the cases can actually be made. Like I said, you really want every one of these jury trials to be about the Michael Brown case as opposed to what case they're there for. And if you're a defense attorney, you're going to do whatever you need to do to help your client. And if that means, trying the Michael Brown case, you're going to do that.
Kind of remember the whole Mark Furman thing. It became a trial within a trial.
Right.
But, I think it's also unfair at this point to think that somehow this is Officer Wilson's doing, that he just didn't show up. I think these decisions are made at a whole different level as to whether or not he's even being asked to come in and testify.
So it's safe to say, assuming he's acquitted and assuming no charges are brought, he can't be a police officer anymore. Right? I mean, it's really hard for him to go back to being a regular police officer.
I think the same way it would be for Mark Furman and any other notorious.
Right. I mean, his life changed forever that day too.
No matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
No matter what.
All right. Somebody's having a bad week, and it's Chris Koster. A New York Times front page investigative story yesterday talking about a quote unquote pay for play scandal, and it only got worse now that former Speaker of the House Tim Jones wants to investigate Chris Koster. You know you're in trouble when Tim Jones wants to investigate your pay-for-play scheme.
Right, the irony.
We'll come back and discuss with our panel, Jane Duker, Jay Kanzler, Big Five.